Last night in a South Philly Chiefs bar, it does exist, a contingent of academics, scientists, and one down-on-his-luck magician fought and toiled and burned the midnight oil to concoct what is known across the sports landscape as the best segment in all of sports media. It's an honor. It's a privilege. It's time for Nick's Tears.
Wildes added that line because on one of his mini burner accounts today, he replied to Mina Kimes and said, "Nick looks like a homeless magician." And now he's using it against me on the show. Well, you sit down on your burner accounts what you said. All right, time for the Tears. A new fresh elimination. The Titans smited by the sword of the prince. By the way, the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. I don't know why we're not talking about that. Now, all right, so here it is. The team's actually still on the tiers. Avoided elimination. These teams last week were on the relegation tier. They won. They avoid elimination, and they are not currently subjected to elimination because all 4-win NFC teams are actually still alive because of Seattle's loss last week, plus, as Brew mentioned, their upcoming brutal schedule of San Francisco, Dallas, San Francisco, Philly. That's Seattle's next 4. Any of those 4-win teams, if they get hot, could be alive, so the Rams and the Packers stay alive. All right, if not for Red Zone, not sure I'd know these teams exist.
Come on.
No, I'm just being honest with you. I have in my house a setup. Brew's been there. Wildes will never come. We can watch 6 games at once. In the 1 o'clock Sunday windows, I'm legit bummed if one of the 6 games involves either of these 4 teams. Now, this week's a little different than playing the Chiefs, the Raiders are. But, yeah, I mean, not really much to talk about there. What if, tier? What if Joe Burrow had stayed healthy? What if Aaron Rodgers had been healthy? What if the Chargers had listened to Chris Broussard and fired Brandon Staley after a Week 2 win? Maybe we'd be having different conversations. All of those teams had Super Bowl aspirations. They all are going to end up missing the postseason. Not to be taken lightly. These 4 teams, not only on any given week, can beat you, but at least 2 of them, if not 3 of them, are going to make the postseason field. There will be an NFC South winner there. The Vikings are going to be a wild card team. And in the NFC South, the non-winner might be a wild card team if Seattle really falls apart. Next, something just a bit off. All of these teams should be better. The Bills, prior to last week, their inability to generate any offense in the first 3.5 quarters of the game, that should not be a problem for them. Defense, maybe because of injuries, not that. Pittsburgh, we saw, and I understand it's the preseason, but we saw that Pittsburgh offense lighten folks up.
Didn't.
Oh, no. We have Brew.
They look great in the preseason.
They did. Absolutely did. And now, all of a sudden, Kenny Pickett's the worst starting quarterback in the league. He shouldn't be great, but it shouldn't be that. And Seattle last year, Coach, played more rookies on defense than any team but the Chiefs. The reason you do that is so the next year they take a big leap, and it's just not quite there. Something's a bit off with all these teams. Can win around. All 3 of these teams, I believe, are making the playoffs, including the Browns, even though they're down to a rookie quarterback. And all of them could win around in the postseason. Now, some of them might have to play each other there. But while I do not believe that any of these teams can go on a prolonged postseason run, Miami, the breakdancing hurts them, of course, in the postseason. A lot of punching going on. Houston, maybe a little too young, and the Browns' offense is just going to hold them back. They absolutely can win around in the postseason. Super Bowl upside. Solid all-around teams that either have a great quarterback or a great overall offense in the case of the Lions, coaches that have either won a Super Bowl in the Ravens and Jags case, or Dan Campbell, who seems to have his players as bought in as anyone in the league and is the most analytically friendly coach in the league, which I like. If any of those teams get hot in January, they could be playing in the Super Bowl. Curse of America's team. When they lose, they're mocked. When they blow teams out, they're somehow mocked more. When they have a quarterback that everyone says is a glorified game manager that turns the ball over too much, when he stops turning the ball over and starts producing 375-yard games against the defending NFC champs, we give him a B instead of putting him in the MVP race. Why? Because they're America's team, and they are cursed by that label. Next! Bruce Maserati.
We're getting a little high here.
Oh, man. Coach, I don't know if you know about Bruce Maserati, which he actually has.
Wow.
Man, it is amazing when it's sun shining out. We can show it to you. Look at that, bro. It is great. But much like the Niners, if they're behind or without all the Avengers, in a little rain or snow, that Maserati, not so good. Hey, fly off the road, all of a sudden you're calling AAA. So, Brew, as long as it stays sun shining for the Niners, they'll be flying high like your Maserati. All right, now what everyone's waiting for. Top tier.
Chiefs.
I mean, there's not a lot of room.
Oh, really? But there's multiple teams missing. So what is it going to be? Super Bowl rematch. You want to see it. Nick Sirianni wants to see it. Vegas wants to see it, which is why they're co-favorites. Listen, they have now played twice in the last 10 months. 1 point total and separates. Well, 1 point and 1 Super Bowl ring separate them, but that's it. Chiefs won 1 by 3. The Eagles won 1 by 4. And they are co-favorites atop the tiers because it was the Super Bowl last year. We saw a great game on Monday night. Looks like we're going to get a Super Bowl rematch this year. Brew, go right ahead.
We try to support.
That's some dirty pool right there.
What's dirty pool?
I mean, look.
What? What's the problem?
You did a good job of making the name gives you an excuse to put both teams on top. But this is the tiers, and the team that should be on top is clearly the Philadelphia Eagles. And I didn't want to do this, Nick, because one, it's not completely accurate.
Well, then
it's a bit of an overstatement. But you forced my hand.
Okay.
Wildes, what did Philadelphia just do on Monday night?
I know what they did.
They went to the Chiefs' house. They went up to the bedroom, into the closet, pulled out the Chiefs' slippers and a bathrobe, put it on, went to the kitchen, made the Chiefs make them a sandwich.
Oh, wow.
They made the Chiefs make them a sandwich, took the sandwich, went down, plopped on the couch, put their feet up, and watched a movie in the Chiefs' house. So they should be number one. Come on, Nick. How? And on top of that, the last 4 weeks, here's what Philadelphia's done.
Let's hear it.
They beat Miami, they beat Dallas, and they beat the Chiefs. Here's what Kansas City's done, Coach. They lost to Denver and Philadelphia.
Wait, well, hold on.
How is this?
Hold on. You're not going to mention the win?
It don't matter. I don't care who they beat.
Miami, like Philly.
Okay, but they lost to Denver and
They're not
the
in the continental United States either. Overseas.
There's no way they could be.
All right. Well, luckily for you, Brew, if you would like a facile ranking system that has the Eagles at the top alone, check literally any other power rankings in the world. Kevin Wildes,
what is going on?
What are you doing?
Wow.
Why am I the only one getting the brunt of this?
Wow. Is someone cooking
You didn't
early?
like my take.
Wow, is someone cooking early?
It smelled like pancakes.
Is Russ back cooking? I'm moving the Broncos up. Changing the Broncos in the Browns. Russ is in the kitchen. He's not burning anything. This is just like the good.
No, I know it's good. Whatever
this is like, no, this is not burning. This is like, oh wow, this smells great.
We had to turn the
Here's
smoke
why Russ is
detectors
cooking. Russ this season. He started off, and you were talking about Russ should be benched.
Yeah.
Maybe someone wants to take on Russ's large contract. You know who's going to? Sean Payton in Denver. They'll say, okay, we're all right. 4-0, completing 74% of his passes, which is absurd. Has yet to turn the ball over, playing smart football. When Dak does it, we got to give him the MVP. Right. When Russ does it, he gets to keep his job. And what are they cooking?
Oh, no, not more. Brew's going to have an allergic reaction.
Right.
We're out of smoke juice. It's a bad joke anyways. Turnovers. Cooking turnovers.
Oh, okay.
You get it?
Yeah, I get it.
Okay, cooking turnovers because they're turning takeaways and turnovers.
We get it.
It's still coming.
Dumb.
Yeah.
Well, you get the turnover joke?
Malfunctioning.
In any event. Early on, they weren't taking the ball away. They were giving it away. Now they're taking it. And on the menu...
Oh, with more?
Well, I have several on the menu.
cliches.
Browns at Texans, which is a winnable game, and the Chargers.
I think they're going to lose all three.
You think they're going to lose when they're hosting the Browns?
Yeah, I think they're going to. Yes, I think they will not move the ball at all against that Browns defense. I think that Russell Wilson will turn the ball over.
Hasn't.
Not via interception, but via strip sack.
Then why are they going to lose against the Chargers?
Because the Chargers you can't trust the Chargers week to week. The Chargers are good enough to beat teams, and the Broncos are not good. Listen, America, I give Sean Payton credit for the fact that they didn't. And I really give you Sean Payton credit for not getting Caleb Williams when it looked like this thing was going to tank. I'm glad he's not going to be in the AFC West. But this is not a good football team. This is unequivocally not a good football. You're absolutely right, and give them credit. It's hard. You know what they say, Coach? Hard to beat a team 8 years in a row. So I understand that. But let's just check back in at the end of this stretch.
I checked in. They're 4-0. I've been checking.
I got it. Let's just see. You just
they've been better than the Chiefs.
You mentioned those. Yes, a lot of teams
have.
in the last 3 weeks have been better than the Chiefs. Chiefs are 1-2. Let's just check in after.
Top of the team.
We don't even have to wait until after this week. The Browns are going to beat them this week, and they're going to lose to C.J. Stroud.
Maybe.
Go ahead,
Nick. I got to say that I'm proud of you.
Oh.
I'm proud of you.
This never happened.
I am proud that you were putting Kansas City and Philadelphia on the same level because usually it's such ridiculous bias that Kansas City would still be there. And I think that they went to their house, but I don't think that they did it the way that you said. I think they snuck in, kind of stole a sandwich out of the fridge and left, and it's a lot closer than it is.
Yeah.
And Nick, you accused me last week or last time I was here or something, and it resonated with me. I don't know if we can show. It was kind
about a year ago. Coach and I were hanging out. I was talking. I was like, hey, Coach, you know what? You can be meaner to me on the air. I think it'll be good. Coach, too coachable. Too coachable, and at this point, taking it too far. I'm just constantly having my feelings hurt.
So I went back to Cleveland, and I got out my craft box.
I was wondering why he was wearing this.
I made you
a friendship bracelet.
What does it say? Just for you.
It says you're my Mahomie.
Yeah.
You have one?
I didn't want to leave you out.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And I was a little surprised you said you weren't a big Kansas City Chief because I consider you the OG Kansas City Chiefs fan.
Wait, what is that?
You were there before everybody believed.
What's this?
And you are the OG.
OG Mahomie. You get that?
So nice.
And Brew, I can't leave you out.
This
Brew,
is great.
You were the first to recognize the greatness of Patrick Mahomes.
Thank Coach.
So I put a little yin and yang in here to recognize your knowledge, your wisdom, your foresight.
Thank you, Coach.
And you
I
are
thought
the
this
first
was so nice.
Mahomes.
No,
I love it, Coach. Thank you.
So I'm thankful for all three of you.
Fantastic.
And I think it's a little bit rough of you to portray me as being aggressively against your stances when, if anything, I just recognize Brew's incredible segments every week.
That was great. That was a nice little cherry on top.
Very nice, Coach. Now, are these edible or are these actually being? Are they? Sometimes you used to get the edible ones.
Next time, I'll get you an edible one for next time.
We had
I expect you to have them on every time I show up.
It's one of the
The
oddest
crumble cookies
comments.
got me hungry now.
Okay.
I'm thinking
Coming up
about
next.
it. I
We're
thought
talking
these were
about the
mints
number
or something.
What in the
He's thinking of
little kid.
It's edible.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.